think the best decision I ever made was to follow this passion. It's where I connect, where I channel, where I breathe. My name is Silvia Logi, and this is my art. Sbocciare means, in Italian, to blossom. To make something that you have inside blossom. I really can't imagine where I would be if I had decided I was too incapable, too old, or too late. At the age of 35, with 2 kids, a husband, and a recently left job, I began my art. Well, that was a very spontaneous decision. In late 2005, I left my last job. I had already both my children. I just spontaneously started to do something, and I did my first mosaic.
Conoscendo la Silvia da piccolina così, è chiaro che aveva un'estrosità, una manualità eccezionale, era prevedibilissimo che venisse fuori quello che sta avvenendo.
He didn't know that he has a role, but in fact she was looking at him and his workshop, and maybe he was at the very beginning a master for her too, but he didn't know. So we grew up, in fact, with the art around us.
I had an intuition at the very beginning of my art, looking at nature, that there cannot be anything as perfect, as beautiful as nature. So I decided to use nature as my subject. See how many? They're wonderful, aren't they? From light green to dark brown. I go free in mind into the woods and just walk, and I come back full of ideas because every material inspires me and gives me a new idea. I'm inspired by many forms of nature, the lights of nature, the color of nature, but also the small things that you can find on the floor. I see in the pine cones, I see the wings of an owl. In the acorn caps, I see the eyes of a fish. In the branches, I see the shape of the waves. I feel a great sense of fulfillment, since it is not something that I learned from the books, or I didn't have any specific artistic education. I live my work as my story in a very intimate sense. When someone is really appreciating and enjoying my artworks, I really feel they are also expressing a positive comment on me, on my path, on my story, on my life. I would encourage anybody to find their own art. Everybody has his own art, has his own talent. And this talent can emerge when you're a child, but even when you're old. If one's not satisfied, I mean, he can discover his art at 65. Luckier who discovers it early in his life, but I'm sure that everybody has his own talent. I really think one has to commit himself to art and be very self-disciplined. You have to feed your art, your inspiration. It's not only wait for it. I think my art is different because I feel free to experiment, and probably I have very strange ideas or sometimes complicated ideas, but since I feel free, I try to find a way to put them in practice. That's freedom that I feel in my art. This is my mother's shop, and this is where in the very beginning of my activity I started to sell my pieces, even when I didn't even know that they were sellable. In late 2005 or early 2006, my mother started to sell my frames, my picture frames, which were the very first object I did. The support and the reaction of other people made me so happy and was so important to encourage me to go ahead. I saw that many people from all the world, from Australia, South Africa, Uruguay, South America, from wherever, and everybody's commenting so enthusiastically.
It's an example for us, just like I don't know, not a hero, but an example of real life that can come true.
I really would like to prove to people that art can start at any time in life. I am the proof, I think. I started at age 35. I was a mom. I was a small town woman. Now I am at age 42. I am a mom. I am a small town woman still, but I am also an artist. Art is waiting for you all, at any age or stage of life. I really think it's never too late.